Mrs. Cole nodded impressively and took another generous gulp of gin. "Did she say anything before she died?" asked Dumbledore. "Anything about the boy's father, for instance?" "Now, as it happens, she did," said Mrs. Cole, who seemed to be rather enjoying herself now, with the gin in her hand and an eager audience. "I remember she said to me, 'I hope he looks like his papa,' and I won't lie, she was right to hope it, because she was no beauty. And then she told me he was to be named Tom for his father and Marvola for her father." Yes, I know. Funny name, isn't it? We wondered whether she came from a circus. "And she said the boy's surname was to be Riddle. And she died soon after that, without another word. Well, we named him just as she said. It seemed so important to the poor girl, but no Tom, nor Marvolo, nor any kind of Riddle ever came looking for him, nor any family at all. So he stayed here in the orphanage, and he's been here ever since." Mrs. Cole helped herself almost absent-mindedly to another healthy measure of gin. 2 pink spots had appeared high on her cheekbones. Then she said, "He's a funny boy." "Yes," said Dumbledore. "I thought he might be. He was a funny baby, too. He hardly ever cried, you know. And then, when he got a little older, he was odd." "Odd in what way?" asked Dumbledore gently. "Well, But Mrs. Cole pulled up short, and there was nothing blurry or vague about the inquisitorial glance she shot Dumbledore over her gin glass. "He's definitely got a place at your school, you say?" "Definitely," said Dumbledore. "And nothing I say can change that?" "Nothing," said Dumbledore. "You'll be taking him away, whatever." "Whatever," repeated Dumbledore. She squinted at him as though deciding whether or not to trust him. Apparently she decided she could, because she said in a sudden rush, "He scares the other children." "You mean he is a bully?" asked Dumbledore. "I think he must be," said Mrs. Cole, frowning slightly, "but it's very hard to catch him at it. There have been incidents, nasty things. Billy stubs his rabbit. Well, Tom said he didn't do it, and I don't see how he could have done, but even so, it didn't hang itself from the rafters, did it?" "I shouldn't think so, no," said Dumbledore quietly. "But I'm jiggered if I know how he got up there to do it. All I do know is he and Billy had argued the day before. And then..." Mrs. Cole took another swig of gin, slopping a little over her chin this time. "On the summer outing, we take them out, you know, once a year to the countryside or to the seaside. Well, Amy Benson and Dennis Bishop were never quite right afterwards, and all we ever got out of them was that they'd gone into a cave with Tom Riddle. He swore they'd just gone exploring, but something happened in that cave, I'm sure of it. And, well, there have been a lot of things, funny things." Though her cheeks were flushed, her gaze was steady. "I don't think many people will be sorry to see the back of him." "You understand, I'm sure, that we will not be keeping him permanently," said Dumbledore. "He will have to return here at the very least every summer." "Ah, well, that's better than a whack on the nose with a rusty poker," said Mrs. Cole with a slight hiccup. She got to her feet, and Harry was impressed to see that she was quite steady, even though 2/3 of the gin was now gone. "I suppose you'd like to see him?" "Very much," said Dumbledore, rising too. She led him out of their office and up the stone stairs, calling out instructions and admonitions to helpers and children as she passed. The orphans, Harry saw, were all wearing the same kind of greyish tunic. They looked reasonably well cared for, but there was no denying that this was a grim place in which to grow up. "Here we are," said Mrs. Cole as they turned off the second landing and stopped outside the first door. She knocked and entered. "Tom, you've got a visitor. This is Mr. Dumbarton, sorry Dunderbore. He's come to tell you..." "Well, I'll let him do it,"